Hey friends, Sean from SGTreport here with an important update and one of the most dramatic Q posts I've ever read. But first I want to talk about Kanye West's visit to the White House and his meeting with Donald Trump. It really got under CNN mockingbird Don Lemon's skin, and Don made it very clear just how racist he is.
I'm just going to be honest, and I may get in a lot of trouble for it. I actually feel bad for him. What I saw was a minstrel show today. Him in front of all of these white people, mostly white people, embarrassing himself.
Now, friends, for those who don't know, a minstrel show was an American form of entertainment developed in the early 19th century, and each show consisted of comic skits, variety acts, dancing, and music performances that mocked people specifically of African descent. To characterize that meeting in the Oval Office as a minstrel show is truly a comment beneath contempt, but I think we're used to that out of Don Lemon and CNN in general. But enough about racist Don Lemon and fake news from CNN. I want to share this incredible post from Q, and at the end of it, I want to share with you a bombshell piece of information I was just told today. This is Q post 2380, statement release 10/9/18, in brackets P_authority1, suggesting perhaps presidential authority for this message. Here's the general statement. We understand that there is extreme fatigue and frustration. The wheels of justice can be slow. Exclude emotion and personal desire. Instead, use logic and critical thinking based on situational awareness to undo a lifetime of evil and corruption, essentially an infestation, in the span of less than 2 years with a corrupt DOJ and FBI in place. Really hard to do, my friends. And Q wants us to understand the process and planning of bringing law and order back to the constitutional government. And in brackets, Q writes, military op. How can you make arrests, non-military, prior to first fully cleaning out corrupt elements at the top of those departments, FBI, DOJ, that oversee investigation and prosecution in the United States? They themselves are the very ones engaged in the illegal treasonous acts. And friends, we know all of that to be true now. On the record, the DNC colluding with the FBI, cooking up the Steele dossier, and I've documented all of it in my most recent videos. Now here Q names names and reminds us that things are happening and bad guys are going down. James Comey, director, fired. Andrew McCabe, Deputy Director, FBI, fired. Jim Rybicki, Chief of Staff and Senior Counselor, fired. James Baker, General Counsel, fired. Bill Priestap, Director of Counterintelligence and Strzok's boss, cooperating witness. His power has been removed. Peter Strzok, Deputy Assistant Director of Counterintelligence, fired. Lisa Page, Office of General Counsel, fired, forced, and we're told she is cooperating. Mike Corton, Assistant Director for Public Affairs, fired. Josh Campbell, Special Assistant to Comey, fired. David Loffman, Chief of the Justice Department's Counterintelligence and Export Control Section, and Q puts in brackets National Security, Hillary Rodham Clinton email investigation, fired, forced. Sally Yates, Deputy Attorney General and Acting Attorney General, fired. By the way, she's about to be subpoenaed. Mary McCord, Acting Assistant Attorney General, Acting Head of DOJ's National Security Division, fired. Bruce Orr, Associate Deputy Attorney General, demoted twice, cooperating witness, power removed. Termination imminent. Rachel Brand, Associate Attorney General, number 3 official behind Deputy AG Rosenstein, fired, forced. And here are the people in the batter's box, folks. Michael Steinbach, Don Gloccoloni, Randy Coleman, Tricia Anderson. And Q links to this article from the New York Times. Tricia Anderson, Charles Newman were married Saturday at the Clifton Inn in Charlottesville, Virginia. This goes back to 2011. The bride, 35, will keep her name. She's the senior counsel to James M. Cole, the Deputy Attorney General in Washington. The bridegroom, 33, is a deputy legal advisor to the National Security Council at the White House. Boy, guys, close ties to corruption here. And we'll return to the batter's box. Kevin Kleinsmith, Tashina Gower, and Sally Moyer. Q writes, how do you ensure those non-military would receive an impartial judgment based on the rule of law? Think federal judge rulings, obstruction, and a sidebar by me. If the witch were in the White House, it would be Loretta Lynch that would have just been sworn in as a Supreme Court justice. Q writes, POTUS granted constitutional authority. How do you ensure appeals to the U.S. Supreme Court are evaluated impartially based on the rule of law? Think Justice Kavanaugh, 5-4. Military law versus criminal law. Guys, this is very important, and it came up during the Kavanaugh hearings. You may recall the exchange between Lindsey Graham and Brett Kavanaugh discussing Which court of law is appropriate for traitors? And it's clear the answer in many cases can be military court or military tribunals.
Isn't there also long settled law that it goes back to the Eisentrager case? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, Johnson versus Eisentrager.
Right. That American citizens who collaborate with the enemy have considered enemy combatants.
They can be. They can be. They're sometimes criminally prosecuted, sometimes treated in the military
Well, let's talk about can be. I think
under Supreme Court precedent.
Right. There's a Supreme Court decision that said that American citizens who collaborated with Nazi saboteurs were tried by the military. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I think a couple of them were executed.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, enemy combatant. How do you navigate around installed blockade? Mueller, designed to take in evidence needed to expose DS. DOJ block, RE, Mueller evidence ongoing investigation. Mueller designed to limit POTUS's ability to maneuver. Mueller designed to stall for time until midterm elections to terminate all House, Senate, ongoing investigations. Mueller designed to safeguard the Democratic Party base via the false narrative of Russia collusion in the elections, that POTUS cheated and that he's evil and that the sky was falling, all in the efforts to divide and mobilize for future protests, riots, threats, violence, false flags, etc. Folks, their whole house of cards in the Russians hacked the elections fable is literally falling apart at free fall speed. Mueller designed to provide fake news with ammunition to sway public opinion, obstruct foreign and domestic agenda, fuel impeachment, removal of the president, fuel anti-POTUS division, and prevent unity. Mueller was designed to demonstrate to foreign players that the old guard, the New World Order deep state, still pulls the strings in the U.S. government. Mueller designed to mobilize the Democratic Party for midterm vote win. Mueller designed to push Democratic Party backers to donate to the Democratic Party. Mueller designed as public outcry excuse should criminal charges be brought against them. Who's the them? It's Clinton. It's Adam Schiff. It's the Podestas. It's James Comey. It's every single person who has been a traitor to this country, including Feinstein, Pelosi, and so many more. Soros, you know the names. And the excuse they would provide upon being arrested or tried for their crimes: we are being politically attacked because of the Mueller investigation into Trump's crimes. How do you remove installed blockade? Declass, declass, declass of sealed FISA memos, declassification of sealed documents, declassification of state secrets only made secret in order to keep the New World Order deep state's crimes covered up. How do you navigate around installed corrupt FBI DOJ? Use a stealth bomber. And this is where Jeff Sessions comes in, folks. Who must authorize firing of FBI DOJ officials? Why did McCabe try to take Sessions out? And Q posts to this MSNBC video, McCabe authorized perjury investigation into Sessions. Again, as I mentioned in my last video about the crypt keeper calling Donald Trump a criminal, if that's not the pot calling the kettle black, I just don't know what is. And Q concludes, what was the Sessions Senate confirmation vote? 52 to 47. Number 175. Logical thinking versus clickbait. Now, friends, I'm not exactly sure what Q meant by number 175. If anybody out there knows the answer to that, please leave me a comment below. But here's the bombshell I want to share with you. I did an interview today with someone that most of you know, and this person has a strong military background. In fact, this person is a decorated veteran, and I asked him about that exchange between Lindsey Graham and Brett Kavanaugh during the hearings, in which military court for traitors was discussed. By the way, I will release the full interview with this person so you can hear it for yourself this Sunday. He knows a Navy admiral, and he was very curious about the expansion of GITMO. And he asked this Navy admiral if the expansion of GITMO could be in preparation for the housing of some of these traitors. And so he asked the Navy admiral specifically, is GITMO in fact chartered to house these types of government officials who are traitors? And here's what he was told.
This is where those detainees live. You can see they have a cot, they have a sink, a toilet, and plenty of personal items.
The Navy admiral said that he was part of the board that drafted up the charter for GITMO. And he said it is absolutely for high-level government officials who are traitors. It's absolutely within its charter. And as Q Post 2380 suggests, be patient. The wheels of justice, although slow, are in motion. Thanks so much for watching. And friends, just a quick note, check me out on minds.com, where I've begun uploading again. What I like about it is that I can upload to their proprietary video system, or I can embed videos from YouTube. Either way, it prevents YouTube from simply deleting my content, as they did with my Christopher Bolin 9/11 interview. Much, much more to come in the next few days, so stay tuned for real news 24/7. Visit us at SGTreport.com. God bless. Bye-bye.
You're going to see arrests, and then you're going to see indictments, and then you're going to see convictions. They are scared to death.